end is near, and so I face the final curtain. But she accused me of stalking. But that's where I started out as a kid singing, Cherry!
Hey guys, it's Kez. We are here at the Women's March in Los Angeles. It's crazy, it's happening, there's signs everywhere, and we are about to start marching.
I don't know, right? That's a good way to start an interview.
Yeah. Okay, so can you tell me a little bit about why everyone is out here today marching?
Well, we're tired of a lot of stuff that's going on. Inequalities versus women in workplaces. They're not safe anywhere.
And so Time's Up shithole, we vote seemed very appropriate. So using the movement, his words, to apply them to himself. Kind of like a boomerang, actually.
So shithole is Trump, is what you're referring to?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, he is the only shithole. Well, there are a few, but he's the biggest shithole at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's really important that people know that not all women have vaginas.
Yeah.
And trans women are women. Like, there's no denying that at all.
Because I'm a woman, I can't lift certain things.
I literally had my professors ignore my question because I was a woman. Yeah, and they would answer all the men's questions, but when it came to me, they're like, oh no, don't, yeah. Yeah.
Men, we must do better. I feel like, one of the major stumbling blocks into breaking down the patriarchy is getting men to stand up and say hey, that's not cool, don't do that.
What are the things that we're marching for?
We're marching for equal rights and stay away from our bodies and our minds and immigrants and everything that he's against, we're for. So, I mean, he's an awful human being.
Everything. Running politics.
You think women are better in politics?
Absolutely.
How so?
Well, I mean, look, we've had white old men in power for all these years. Look at this shit.
What's wrong?
Everything.
Like an example of one thing.
Oh, man.
We've got big, beautiful buildings.
We've got rapists in power. We've got racists in power. Oh, there's a ton of them right now. I don't name dropping in general. I don't.
Okay.
There's just,
you're not about that life?
Not really, but you can see it everywhere.
Okay.
They constantly get off on. I don't know. It's freaky.
Well, my name is Holly Ray. I'm a filmmaker, producer, director.
So how, as men, can you do better? How are you improving yourself to do better?
That's a really good question. I am very far from perfect, but I identify as a feminist. I'm always trying to, be sure to reevaluate my behavior, reevaluate maybe any of my, my unconscious biases that I know I have.
What would those be?
Those would be...
if someone tells you, a woman if they say, haha, I'll get back into the kitchen and make a sandwich, does that really offend you, or it doesn't bother you really?
It offends me greatly. There's a man sitting right there. He has hands. Why can't he do it himself?
Yeah.
Making a sandwich isn't a problem. You can do it too. Why does a woman have to do it? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
Great balls, pa. I'm a chop.
So I think that women are going to save the world eventually, once we get this big hat out of the way.
Yeah. And what would you say that men are just naturally a bit better at than women?
Nothing.
Okay, what do you think? Anything?
Men aren't really good at anything. They get easily angered at anything. Women, they'll tend to more listen to people than men do.
So what are some things then on the other side that you could say that men are just naturally better at than women?
Putting their feet in their mouth. I mean, I'm not trying to be facetious.
Why are you putting yourself down?
Oh, no. I don't
You're a man.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think I'm indicative of all men. I think if I were indicative of all men, that'd be closer to 50% of the people here.
I know lots of really great men who really stand up for women and want to protect them and look after them.
I do as well. I don't feel that...
You think most men are evil?
I wouldn't say evil. I think most men are kind of predisposed to not reflect on their own behavior and not to be self-aware in a way that I think women maybe are forced to from an earlier age.
So is there one thing that you could say about your sex that's really positive? Men, we might not be very good at this. Maybe we do put our feet in our mouth sometimes, but you know what? We're actually really good at this, and this is why we can really help women, because we're naturally better at this skill.
I'm not trying to be self-deprecating in this situation, but I don't think there is anything that men are necessarily better at.
So there was a bit of commotion and drama going on just now. Can you explain what that was all about?
Well, they mad because we say we love Trump.
Right.
And I've said that that they the one that's promoting the hate.
Right.
Because God made Trump president. And he's our president. That's a fact. So why do y'all hate him?
Yeah.
In Christian theology, Eve is like blamed for the fall of Eden and basically like the ruin of the world. And so basically for all of time we've gotten blamed for all the bad things, even though we're the ones being oppressed.
Yeah. His next presidency is coming up soon, 2020, isn't it?
It's impossible.
Do you think he's going to win or no?
No, unless he gets the Russians to support him again and hack our systems. But our systems were hacked. He did not get the majority vote. That is a fact.
I spoke to one woman earlier, and she told me that the only reason Trump got in was because the Russians got him in.
No, that's not true. It be because Obama didn't do nothing for the blacks.
Yeah. And I think there's something instinctual, like when a man who's married, he makes more money than a single man, and especially then a man who's married and has kids makes even more money because he goes, oh my gosh, I have a family, I need to provide and look after these people. This is, and they sort of go, okay, I need to work hard and do this, and they're going to stay later hours because they feel the responsibility. They've got someone they've got to look after, and I think that's really amazing about men.
Yeah, I would say that women do the exact same thing, though. I would say that women, when there are
everyone can do the same thing, but I think I don't think you should be afraid to say that men can be better at some things and women can be better at some things.
I'm not afraid to say. I just can't think of anything.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
That makes me really sad for you. Do you have a high self-esteem?
Mid-range self-esteem.
Right.
Yeah,
You look in the mirror and feel, I feel really good about myself.
I look in the mirror and say, how can I do better?
What do you think that the biggest issue facing women today is?
Misogyny.
How is that represented?
At this march?
No, like in your day-to-day life, like how do you feel the effects of misogyny in your life?
Well, everywhere. You go to, we got catcalled last night walking to Hollywood Boulevard. So, it's everywhere.
Right. Why are you at the Women's March?
'Cause you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman.
He wanted to drain the swamp. He drained it all right, but he filled it with a bunch of really dangerous crocodiles who were only after one thing.
What are they after?
White male power, and profits. It's become a for-profit, not a democracy. It's become a for-profit, a large-scale corporation.
Did you say you're a happy person?
Oh, no.
You're very unhappy.
Yeah, I am. Sorry, you picked the wrong person.
No, I think...
let me just say, I am very unhappy and not hopeful because of how most people are not afraid, and because they're not afraid, they're not doing anything about anthropogenic climate change. So
every day you think about climate change, you go, my day's ruined.
Every moment, yes.
So what do you say to the women who, because Trump does have a few women in his, parliament area, like Sarah Huckabee Sanders and a few other women.
Yes.
What are your opinions of those women?
Your personal choices are your personal choices, and I feel sorry for you that your own sense of self-worth is not enough to openly oppose a man who is on record for saying that he grabs women's pussies. He's an abuser, he's a sexual offender, and he's the current resident in the White House. He will never be anyone that I can stand up for.
And to the people about abortions, let me tell y'all just like this. Don't have sex without marriage. There's no such thing as sex without marriage. That's a sin. You only have sex with your husband and you won't have to worry about abortion. Praise God.
So what is toxic masculinity?
I guess it's this fear of not being comfortable with who you are, so to overcompensate in masculine ways. I don't.
Like an example?
I guess it would be oh man, I can't think off the top of my head.
Do you have toxic masculinity?
I have in the past, sure.
Really?
Yeah.
So how did you go from being a toxic man to now, what would you say, untoxic?
Well, I stopped and looked around, and you don't need any book, moral, lawful, godful, to know right from wrong, right?
In a garbage patch in between here and Hawaii that are killing fish at this very moment. So, no, I'm not a happy person.
That's really sad.
It
I
is,
think
yeah,
I would probably, from the very few short minutes that I've been speaking to you, I think that maybe your sadness probably comes from your identity, your self-identity, and no one is speaking into your life and saying, you are a man and this is how men behave. You never hear anyone say anything good about men. They never say, men, they protect women and they stand up and they build buildings and they build things for women. And you're a man, that's who you are. But you don't have that about yourself. You put yourself down and you let women walk all over you and rule your life. All right, guys, that was the Women's March. That was pretty intense, pretty crazy. I hope you liked it. And if you did, make sure you like and subscribe.
Do you think about climate change?
Not very much.
Not very much. It's here. It's impacting people right now.
Yeah, I live in Australia and it's beautiful and it's green and it's tropical.
Well, some parts, yes, but the reefs are still.
Have you been to Australia?
No, I don't fly for environmental reasons. Yeah.
Would you take a boat?
I would take a boat, but it takes a long time. It's really expensive.